hate the city. I hate the Bachelorettes. I hate the pedal taverns. I hate country music. I hate all of the things that make Nashville, apparently, an it city to the rest of the country. But I hate it.
Hello, Lumpy. The hits keep coming for the Democrat who hates the city she wants to represent. Candidate Afton Bain is running against Republican Matt Van Epps in a special House election down in Tennessee in a district Trump won by 22 points. Afton is going viral for saying she hates Nashville and country music, despite the tiny detail that she might soon represent the capital of country music. And now she's desperately name-dropping George Strait to try and bail her out.
I hope my parents don't kill me, but I do not hate country music. I was conceived after a George Strait concert. I had a podcast back in the day called Grits, Girls Raised in the South. And I was lamenting about, the things that are wrong with our city, obviously taken out of context, obviously hyperbolic. And I don't feel that way at all.
I don't know where you could insert that back into context to make it right. Well, that's not the only woke claptrap Afton is spewing. She was confronted about past social media posts expressing her support for defunding the police. Watch.
In 2020, you made some tweets that have since been deleted that were very critical of police. Do you still stand by those comments? And if not, is there anything you want to clarify?
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points, but what I will say is that, our communities need solutions. Once again, I don't remember these tweets.
The old I don't remember these tweets. Curiously enough, they happened at the same time as Zohran Mamdani's tweets when he also talked about defunding the police because the NYPD is anti-queer. So given Jay Jones winning his race and Zohran Mamdani winning his for saying far more inflammatory things, I think she's on her way to victory.
Well, wouldn't that be nice? She's definitely not my dream candidate, but the story here is that it's a Trump plus 22 district, and Republicans are having to pump millions of dollars into this to protect it. It should be at least in single digits, which would be a huge overperformance. And that's the trend line that's really scaring Republicans at this point. You had Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning, and then Punchbowl News is reporting that there could be many more Republicans that are retiring early, that they feel like they're not even going to work or legislating. So Mike Johnson, the idea of him losing the gavel even before we get to the midterms, a fever dream for me, but, outside chance, but possible. I mean, if you're going to spend your time going over the old tweets, and I get it, she should just say, because I think she deleted them too. So, obviously you knew that they existed and that they were bad. That is not a way to win a campaign right now. People want to hear how you're going to lower their grocery prices. They want to talk about their energy costs. They want to talk about the rent being too damn high. And Republicans don't seem to have an answer to any of that. They were almost on the verge of Obamacare subsidy extension, and then the rank and file got in the way and said, absolutely not, we're not doing it, even though it has 70% approval rating. So I'm feeling bullish.
Should she feel bullish, Jesse?
I mean,
Jesse on Jesse
Jessica just said she hopes this girl wins. So you hope someone wins who hates the district?
She doesn't hate the district.
She hates the district. She hates country music. She hates bachelorette parties. She said sororities are white supremacy. She hates the people she's supposed to work for. And you want her to win? Why? Because she's a Democrat? That's dumb, Jessica. You're better than that. If you represent California, you should be tan. If you represent Texas, you should love steak. You shouldn't be a vegetarian. If you represent Massachusetts, you should love the Sox and the Kennedys. Every single Kennedy. It shouldn't be that hard to embrace the culture that you represent and not hate the culture. So why does it always seem like these Democrats hate the culture? They're never out in the culture. You never see them at a fight. You never see him at a football game.
That's not true.
You never see him on a boat. You never see him on a horse. You never see him doing anything American. They're shut-ins. They're snobby shut-ins, let's admit it. Like, for instance, let's take Jasmine Crockett. Like, she represents Dallas. Have you ever seen her at a Dallas football game? Ever seen her at a Cowboys game? Have you ever heard her say, God, I love Texas, the great state of Texas, the great people of Texas?
I think so.
What about Bernie? When's the last time you heard Bernie say anything about Vermont? One thing. Ever seen Bernie ski? Ever seen him with any maple syrup? Leaf peeping? Anything? Show me that you represent Vermont. No, he just talks about the billionaires. They all do it. They see voters as stepping stones. They don't love people. They actually hate them. And that's not good in politics.
No, she's emotional, irrational, and her words are coming back to bite her in the keister. So what do you think is going to happen with this campaign, Emily?
Hopefully she doesn't win, because I agree with you in that, to me, it's a deal breaker. When you look at candidates and you actually compare, likely they have their constituents' interests in mind, their best interests in mind. Likely everyone running, for the most part, says, how can I lower taxes, lift regulations, lower costs, make everyone happy, feel safe, be safe, cover potholes. But usually in there is not whether or not they hate the people they are supposed to serve. They are supposed to be public servants. Meanwhile, on a brass tacks point, that is Music City, and that is a $1 billion plus industry that is arguably headquartered in the city that she's purporting to represent. It is shocking to me, the naivety that we are seeing in that candidate and also in the libs we showed in the first block, who, again, say these outlandish, frightening things because they want that dopamine rush, and they don't realize that it's constituents they're hoping to serve or should be serving rather than followers. And she tries to deny it or explain it away by saying, well, you need to know the context. There is no context associated with I hate Nashville or I hate the cops or I hate sororities that will in any way change or mitigate the meaning, which is pretty clear. And also, do you make tweets or do you just make water?
Oh, great question.
Don't you tweet? The verb is tweet.
You might post something, but one does not necessarily make a tweet. What do you make of this, Greg?
Well, she is the bane of Nashville. Actually, she's an awful, affluent, white, female liberal. She is like the perfect example of this. There were heroes and villains in 2020. It was an opportunity for people to join the mob or rebel against the mob. She was the mob. Everything that she had said during that period reflected those people. And you got to call it out on them because they made people's lives miserable. The through line in all of her opinions, bachelorettes, sororities, girls in the South, moms, what do they have in common? They're all women. She is basically throwing all, and I would say white women under the bus because it's a guilt thing and it's a virtue signal thing. Behind that is probably a lot of fear and self-doubt about the decisions she's made. Like, why does she hate bachelorette parties? Because they're married, because they go get married? Why does she hate moms? Because they have children? I don't know. But she seems to me like the type of person at a BLM brunch that would kneel and say, I'm the problem, but I'm different than everybody else. I had something else I wanted to say. Oh, she encapsulates what GADSAD calls suicidal empathy. When a trans shooter kills kids in schools, she sides with the trans. When crime is out of control, she applauds the burning of a police station. And on the personal level, she condemns having children. She says that it gets in the way of her selfish needs. And then she'll camouflage these desires with this false curtain of compassion. But they're wholly destructive, personally and to a society. And her sense of identity is nothing more than just a broken down car with silly bumper stickers around them. It's no wonder it's kind of coming apart now.
Well, it's awful timing for her, speaking of awful, because the election is this coming Tuesday.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.